All right, good morning. Committee on Parole's call to order. Today is Thursday, October 24th, 2024. It's 8:52 a.m. My name is Cheryl Renatza, serving as chairman of the panel today. My colleagues on the panel seated to my left, Mr. Chucky Dillis, to my right is Mr. Danny Byron. Our first remote location this morning is at Tangipahoa Parish Jail. We are seated at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge. And I'd like to have our staff please introduce yourself for the record.
Jasmine Thompson.
Sherelle Baker.
Thank you. And we have Mr. Baker. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any officer in the room with you, or are you by yourself?
I'm by myself.
Okay. So we're here for a revocation decision this morning. Did they leave any paperwork there with you? You got any paperwork with you?
Yes, ma'am. I left it in the dorm.
Okay, we're going to put up a form on the screen that you'll be able to see. It's a parole revocation questionnaire that you signed, and we want to be sure and verify that that's your signature on that paper. So it's coming up. You see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your signature dated September 24th, 2024 at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, based on the information you provided during that questionnaire, you're not eligible for appointed counsel. So are you ready to proceed with your revocation hearing this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'll read the allegations against you, after which you'll enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. And then your case has been assigned to Mr. Tillis, seated to my left. So once we get your pleas entered, asking you some questions, you can provide any statement you like to him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, give us your name, DOC number.
Clyde Baker, 397-205.
Is it Clyde Williams Baker?
It's Clyde Wilson Baker. Williams was my maiden name. My last name was changed.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna call you Mr. Clyde Baker.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Baker, you're accused of violating the conditions of your parole. Condition number 13, and there's two parts. The first one is we're going to call it 13A. You were found by probation and parole agents to be at 1215 Smith Square in Hammond, which is within 1,000 feet of Mooney Park, the Regina Child Development Center, Hammond Head Start, Elias Early Learning Center, and Hammond Junior High. How do you plead to violating that condition number 13?
Guilty.
And we're going to take your statement in just a second. The second part of that is you were found in contact with 2 juvenile females by probation and parole agents on September 12th, 2024. How do you plead to that violation?
Not guilty.
Guilty? Okay. Would you answer Mr. Tillis' questions, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Baker, how are you doing this morning?
I'm fine. How are you?
All right, I read your case. Tell me what happened. You were getting your hair cut, or?
I just went over there to get my hair done for a job I had just got hired at. My hair is just like it is now. When they came arresting me. And Mr. Kennedy had called the phone, asked for me. He said that he was doing his routine check on his people, and he was checking on me. And I had let him know that I had just went over there to get my hair braided before I started the job that I had just got hired at. And he said, congratulations. And he had asked me where I was, and I told him I was at Smith Square. And then he said, okay. And then he asked me how I was, and I said I was all right. You know what I'm saying? He told me congratulations about the job and stuff. So a couple minutes later, he called back and asked what was the address. And that's when he just had pop up there, you know what I'm saying? And I was just going inside when he came there, you know what I'm saying? I was outside when he called, and Ms. Irma had brought me the phone. So when he came, looked around. When he knocked on the door, Ms. Irma was on her way out the door, because I had informed her of that if he was to come there, that I may get arrested because I ain't supposed to be around other kids. And she was like, well, she said I was going to bring them by someone's house while she do my hair so I can go to work. And on the process of her going out the door, he was knocking on the door coming in. So when she opened the door, she met him at the door, and he stepped in. He asked for me, and I was on my way to the door to him. You know what I'm saying? They asked me to step outside. That's when they arrested me.
That's just what I read. Did you know you were not supposed to be around or within I think 1,000 feet of
Yeah, yes, sir. But it wasn't my intention to hang there. I just went there to get my hair done because that was the closest place I can get my hair done at the moment. And I wasn't planning on just being around there because I know I wasn't supposed to be there. I just went there to get my hair done for that moment.
I see. So you knew you weren't supposed to be there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have no more questions.
I have no questions.
All right. Anything else you want to say to us, Mr. Baker, before we go?
I was just asking that y'all, you know what I'm saying, be lenient with me, you know what I'm saying, for it being my first time, you know what I'm saying, and give me another chance to get out there and get myself together. Due to it being so soon, I wasn't home in a good 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying, and I was trying to equip myself to go through with my parole, the few months I had left on there.
Okay, we do have someone here. I'm sorry that your cousin is here with us. Irma Gales, I guess that's whose house you were at.
Yes, ma'am.
She wants to say a few words. Ms. Gales, are you on the line with us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead and tell us what you'd like us to know.
I would like for you guys to know that he was working on himself. He had got a job and I was trying to help him. So I feel like that he were trying to better his situation. And I would like to ask for a second chance also.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate you being.
How long had you been out?
Not even 2 weeks, like probably 11 days, 11 to 12 days.
What about the job?
Yeah, well, when they was arresting me, the boss man was calling my phone at the time, you know what I'm saying, telling because I was supposed to be there for 3:30. He was calling to tell me to come in at 3 o'clock. And I was letting him know that I had a technical difficulty at the time, you know what I'm saying. I don't know if he was upset by it being my first day and I was having an excuse not to come because I didn't tell him I was being arrested.
But you don't think you get your job back?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir, because I had worked there once before, you know what I'm saying, a couple years back. And he told me once I got myself together and took care of my problems, you know what I'm saying, that, you know what I'm saying, he would like to hire me back.
So did your officer call Miss Irma's phone number?
Yes, ma'am, because that's when I got out, she took me to go do my intake. And that's the only because I didn't have a phone at the moment. But when I did get my phone, I did call him with my number, but he said he must have misplaced it.
All right. Is the panel prepared to?
Yeah.
I have one more
Oh,
question.
okay.
I see that you're a fourth offender. Have you been through probation and parole revocation process before? How did you finish your other terms of supervision?
I did my time flat, and this what I didn't understand. But they was trying to explain to me that the charge that they supervising me on, this charge is 26 years old. I'm not on parole for the criminality of a juvenile. I
You on-
don't 6 years ago. I did my time flat then. I never have been on parole.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's the only choice. What about what he pled guilty to before? You know, it's real bad, Mr. Williams. And being out 11 days, my vote's gonna be not to revoke.
I'm gonna have to vote to revoke. I mean, the rules are very clear and you knew what the rules were. You just went ahead and violated them. I mean, so it's plain and simple.
To Mr. Baker, will vote to vote because you admitted to us today that you knew you wasn't supposed to be there. So you've received one favorable vote, 2 votes to revoke your parole. So today your parole is being revoked. That concludes our business there. We'll sign off at 9:01 a.m. from Tangipahoa Parish Jail.